All right, welcome back to the Boys of 161st Street, episode 167. The Yankees are the best team on the planet, and I hate to open that up with that because I feel like everybody thinks we're a flip-flop, but we're not flip-flops. This team just is so polar opposite every single week, and who knows, we're going to ride high today, and we're not going to have any bad vibes at all. We will have hot or not, but the knots will be like kind of sprinkled in there. And it'll just be like, why did Wade get caught stealing twice? That's the not, spoiler alert. That's like the only reason he's on the team. He gets caught stealing twice. Buy it?
Oh yeah, no, I'll actually wait, but no, I just don't know I don't know what the fuck that was.
No, I don't know. But we'll get into that, and we'll get into the Yankees sweeping the Red Sox and just having an overall fantastic time. Nuts were on the table, as Chandler likes to say, and Yankees were there. They were doing the damn thing, and, you know, we have a little bit of Joe West to thank for that last game. Thanks, Joe West. Claps up to you.
Yeah.
I mean, not really.
The real MVP.
Well, no, and why don't we just get into that right now to open it up, because I know it's not entirely because of that, because, you know, Judge still hits the home run after that, but that's not necessarily true. You don't really know what would have happened, so I'm just happy that he did egregiously call that not on the transfer, because that was on the transfer for sure.
No, to me, that's the world evening itself out for 2 drop pop-ups and 1 at bat.
Well, that was that was actually on us. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying that is the world evening itself out. That's it, because that should never happen at the major league level. I actually got sad and left the bar, and my phone died, and I was just riding the Uber home pouting, and then I got home and they were winning, so that was cool.
I mean, I literally I had no words when that happened. I could not fathom what just went down.
Yeah.
Two of our best fielders.
Go Glovers.
Consistently.
DJ made 2 diving double plays.
Yeah. Just fantastic plays, and then he just follows it up with that. See, that one was a little less egregious because it was technically, you know, in foul territory, so it didn't, I mean, it absolutely fucking mattered, and it like negatively impacted us, but the other one was literally directly leading to a run, and that was insane. Yeah. I literally said it out loud to Damon, because we were sitting on the couch watching the game, and I was like, just please catch that, because it was obviously 3 minutes before DJ just drops that foul ball, and no part of me actually thought he would drop it. And then I actually genuinely don't think I've been more shocked in my life.
Yeah, that was crazy. I think it was really funny because like Matt Vasgersian afterwards was like he was like, "Yep, two drop pop-ups. Maybe it was the conditions." And so let me just check. Wait, nope. There are 0 conditions right now. It is like clear sky. There's absolutely no wind right now. I
didn't hear that.
Yeah, he said that. He said it really quickly. He was like,
"Thank God."
Let me check real quick. Oh, there are no conditions.
Dude, that broadcast is fucking brutal.
I gotta say, with the broadcast, I was saying this to Damon too. Obviously A-Rod is A-Rod, and did you guys hear him say Rizzo's name like that? He goes, I actually want to play it. He goes, Rizzo. I think actually was a pretty good impersonation there. I'll play it right now for the people who haven't heard that. We posted him. He was just randomly saying Rizzo's name when he was making a play.
He made a pick, and then it was funny.
Oh.
Anthony Rizzo.
I'm gonna put that on the loop.
A-Rod.
I'm gonna wake up. That's gonna be my alarm going forward. But that's classic A-Rod. And one other thing on the broadcast, how many? I just don't understand how many times. Like, I get, you know, the Poppy A-Rod relationship is pretty cool, and they have a lot of stories. But like, I feel like enough is enough. Like, how many times are you gonna talk about the 2004 collapse and like, oh, hey Poppy, remember when you did this? Like, you're pretty good in October. Tell the people how you do it. And he's like, yeah, you know, I trained a lot. I was really diligent. Like, yeah, we fucking know. You tell us every other Sunday that you come and do this shit with A-Rod, and you guys act like it's the first time you're fucking talking about it.
Dude, ESPN does that in everything though. Like, it's not even just baseball.
About the fight too. His like fight in fucking 2003 or 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, they put him on the spot.
Yeah, he was just like,
with Veritek?
Yeah, I was like, this is fucking terrible. Please stop. Like, there's a game going. Like, I miss there was like 3 plays in a row that they missed because they were just sitting there fucking yammering on. Exciting plays in a game that matters. Like
Yeah,
probably
but,
the
like-
biggest game of the year to date for either of those teams.
And they
they're
were in a
just
split
sitting there.
screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in
Well,
split screen.
It's because they're trying to appeal to other people who are not like the everyday baseball
Appeal
fan.
to me. Appeal to the people that
I know,
like you.
I know what they should do, but they're not doing that. They're trying to like spark some conversation, something interesting to people who are just like casually watching the game on ESPN.
But also, not only was it one of the most important games of the year, but it was also during a very pivotal moment where things were happening, and
Yeah.
they still decided to go split screen and talk about the story that they sound like old like grandpas talking about the glory days just for the millionth
are.
time because they have dementia and they just keep fucking talking about it.
You want to appeal to other people? Stop blacking out games in the city you fucking live in. There you go. Fuck you, Rob Manfred.
Simple solution. All right, let's talk about the game that was played. That's going to be the only little bit of gripes. I do have the gripe alert button if you want me to press it. I'll save it for I actually do have a gripe later, so I'll save it for that. But the gripe alert button
Way to
is coming
toss it
out of
off the
retirement.
backboard to yourself.
You can lay me up one later then. So do you guys want to just get right into hot or not? Because the hot or nots that I have written down are directly obviously correlated to the big man and a lot of topics that we're going to talk about. So without further ado, who wants to do the hots and who wants to do the nots?
Murphy, go for it. You haven't been here in a while. I'm gonna pass
All
it
right,
to you.
Which
Pass
one
the
do you want?
baton.
Passing the baton.
We'll give Murphy
Give me
the
the
hots.
hots.
Yeah.
Those are fun. You still
It's your
remember how
time
to
to
do
shine.
this?
Yeah. All right. It's been like 2 weeks. I don't.
All right. Well, for the people who are listening in for the first time, that was a good like professional segue to tell people what we do here. So hot or not, we just basically I'm gonna say some things about people who have been hot recently, and you're gonna buy or sell whether or not that can continue, or honestly, is it real going into the playoffs? Because I mean, continue. It's like, is this
There's 6 games
is
left.
this kind of shit gonna happen in the playoffs? I better fucking hope so. And that's the question, basically. Yeah, buy or sell that they're gonna make this shit happen in the playoffs. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, obviously, I was gonna start with the big man, Giancarlo Stanton. This season, he has 20 go-ahead hits, which is the most by far on the team. Since August 3rd, he has 18 home runs. This series, he has 3 home runs, 1 in each game, 10 RBIs, 0 runners left on base all weekend, which is honestly the most wild stat from that entire thing.
Buying it.
You have the card out, you're buying. Aaron Judge this season has 7 go-ahead hits. That is the end of the music. I don't know why. We'll turn it back on. Aaron Judge has 7 go-ahead hits this season in the 8th inning or later. No one in the MLB has more than that. And didn't look up the specific stats, but the boy was playing baseball this weekend. You buying him?
Of course.
Clay Holmes. Who the
one.
fuck is Clay Holmes? We'll play that soundbite from the boys. All of the boys, full house here today. We all shat on Clay Holmes, as we should have, but since he has been playing in any 28 one-game span in Yankees history, he had 30-plus strikeouts and 1 walk. So I did that kind of backwards. So 30-plus strikeouts in 1 walk in any 21-game span in Yankees history. The names that have done that are Clay Holmes in 2021, Andrew Miller in 2016, and Mariano Rivera in 2005.
That's a tricky one. I don't know about that one.
Boo.
Well, I mean,
You gotta
is he-
make a decision here, buddy. It's the whole point.
I'll
Well said, David.
reluctantly buy.
Well, no, do it what Chandler says. Tentative buy. It's always a tentative buy. So talk to me, Goose. Why did you tentatively buy Clay Holmes? Because obviously, I think all of us across the board are buying Stanton and Judge.
Well, like, yeah, he's not on the same echelon as Rivera and Andrew Miller.
Yeah.
back when he
I
was on the
mean,
Yankees.
naturally.
Like,
Yes.
clearly. So, like, I don't know. That seems more like a fluke to me than Stanton and Judge is all.
So
And I
here's
feel
my
like
question to you
You have
about
to
that.
sit here
though.
and buy all of them.
No, I agree. But do you think, obviously, that's not really what I meant by that. I was just naming the crazy stat that has happened. So are you buying that he can be borderline the most dominant pitcher in our bullpen from here on out? Because right now, honestly, if we were going to do a trust tree to finish out the season with who we got right now, I would consider Clay Holmes to be at the top, if not up there. So
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'll buy that because given how our bullpen's been this year, it's been really hot and not just like the rest of the team. So you got to ride the hot hand. So, yes, I will
He's
buy
been
it.
hot the
If-
whole
if
time,
you-
though.
No, he has. I agree.
I'm all in on Clay Holmes, dude.
I'm all aboard the Clay
All right.
train.
I mean,
I hope
dude,
so.
just like it's not only the numbers that I just read to you, like just the eye test and just watching how actually nasty his pitches are. Like that's probably one we didn't know who he was, and I'm about to play like our reaction to that because we had a live reaction when he got traded, and I'll get to that in a second. But like the numbers weren't great. I know the sabermetric numbers were good, and that's why they wanted to go after him. And obviously we're seeing that now. But like after watching this man pitch, that sinker is fucking disgusting. Like he's a good pitcher. He's a nasty pitcher. So
Dude,
Chalk one up
stuff
for the
is
nerds,
absolutely nasty. And that last game he had where he struck out the side on 11 pitches, that whole inning he was just on cruise control and was dominating them. They had no idea what to do with it.
he almost
Did
had an
you see that
immaculate
pitch?
inning. He was
Did
2
you see
pitches
that
shy
pitch
of an
he-
immaculate inning.
Did you see the pitch he threw? It was a 98-mile-an-hour sinker that started like middle of the plate and ran under his hands.
Yeah, dude. And his fastballs, they go in on righties and it's impossible to hit.
Yeah, they got serious tail on them. He literally was 11 pitches in that inning, 3 strikeouts, just shy of an immaculate inning. My question to you guys before we move on: do you think we should have kept him in? Because I think it's fairly obvious that we did. I mean,
1,000%, yeah.
Absolutely.
hindsight now is 2020, but I still think in that moment, me and Damon were talking to each other like, why are we pulling him? He literally threw 11 pitches. This is getting too cute. I feel like he was trying to outmanage other managers that are clearly smarter than him, and that's just kind of a tale as old as time with Boone, is like trying to prove to people that he's smart by trying to press the right button. Meanwhile, the easier decision was the better one by keeping in a guy who nearly threw an immaculate inning the prior inning.
He clearly showed that he was dominating the hitters that inning. He has been dominating them the previous games, and we had an off day the following day, which is today. There's absolutely no reason to take him out right there. There's no I don't get it. There's one lefty up, and there was 2 more righties up right after that. If you're gonna play lefty righty card, there's absolutely no reason to take him out of that position. And again, right, it's 2020 now because we can definitely say that we should have taken him out because we blew the game afterwards. But
Yeah, because Jolie comes in and he did not get it
he
done.
blows it. Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I'm like oddly confident in Jolie most of the time. I don't know why. I think it's just like I like the way he throws. There's no stats to back that up.
Yeah,
but-
just like an average pitcher. Like we've said it before, he hasn't really had a moment where we were like, "Fuck Jolie Rodriguez," which
But
is
he hasn't
good.
had a
It's better
moment
than
where
most
we're
people
like-
can say.
Yeah, but he also hasn't had a moment that's like, whoa,
Exactly.
Jolie Rodriguez. This is a dude.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
I
I
like
just
him.
wanted to play our reaction to the Clay Holmes deal, just to give him a little bit of, give him the last laugh on this one, because we were clearly wrong, but so is everybody else. So
The Yankees have acquired
No.
Clay Holmes
Ugh, God.
from the Pirates. Diego Castillo and Hoy Park.
what?
Wait,
Oh.
You
what?
gave up them for Clay Holmes? Who the fuck is Clay Holmes?
They just traded Hoyt
Diego
Park?
Castillo.
They gave away
is-
Park.
Yeah, they just traded Hoy Park and Diego Castillo, who are both fucking awesome.
So who the fuck is this?
Wait, what?
Clay Holmes. What was his
Yeah.
name?
The Yankees have announced today that they've acquired right-handed pitcher Clay Holmes from Pittsburgh Pirates in exchange for Diego Castillo and Hoy Park.
How do you spell Holmes?
What the
H-O-M.
Holmes. He's 28.
Dude,
You
what?
actually just tried to spell Holmes. Just
He's got a
H-O-M-E.
career.
I'm nervous,
He's
all
got a
right?
cur-
I'm.
Dude,
he's got
they
a
traded
career
Hoy Park?
5.5. He's got a 5.5 ERA for his career.
He's a negative
What?
.1 WAR this year. Wow.
There's your sell.
Well, that's not a sell. That's a fucking.
I know. I'm
That's
just
that's
kidding.
not a sell or a buy. That's a fucking
That's a
stupid ass move.
disgrace.
What is going on with this fucking team? Like, why everything we
This
just
guy's
talked
not
about?
good.
Why are we even
He's like
making
a 28-year-old AAA pitcher.
But I
What the
think
fuck?
you're getting rid of
do you
prospects. and
trade
got
Hoy
nothing in
Park?
fucking return.
Hoy Park's hitting like 350 in AAA.
We just donated Hoy
He
Park.
should have gotten Jordan.
We just gave him to the fucking Pirates.
We got this
Surely
guy
I'm
with a
missing
fucking
something.
shitty mustache. I don't even care if this guy ends up being the best.
Did we get
At
Brian
face
Reynolds?
value,
at
you
least?
lose this fucking Brian. No, we got one fucking player.
How did you trade
on the
Whitmark?
bright side, Rob Brantley got sent back down to AAA, so they have room on the.
I don't
40-man
fucking
roster.
what?
I don't give a
Is
fuck.
Brian Cashman drunk? Is he just like sitting his office shit face, like pressing yes to everything? No.
What does
fuck.
that? What does that fucking accomplish?
All right, let's move on. This is fucking ridiculous. So,
I'm reading all the fucking comments right now.
all right,
People are not very happy.
let's get to. So I
We
think
have breaking news.
I think we all owe Mr. Cashman a little bit of an apology there. First of all, I just want to point it out. You guys probably felt the same way. That was really weird hearing all four of our voices and all four of us sitting here because it felt like we were doing that conversation again. Like Damon laughing right there, I almost thought was a pre-recorded thing. So
You know how they say like you hate hearing your voice recorded? Like,
yeah,
oh,
I hate hearing all four.
I
of our
also hate
voices
hearing-
recorded.
I hate hearing how stupid I sounded in July.
I think that's so funny though because like not the voice thing, but just the conversation. The fact that we were talking about selling at that point, and then
Here we are.
Yeah.
Oh,
here
how
we are.
far we've come.
It just goes to show how fucking streaky this entire season has been.
My favorite part of that entire thing is Dan go, wait, how the hell do you spell home?
He tried to spell it Homes, like Holmes.
I was spur of the moment, and I'm not a good speller.
Can we get an update on Hoy Park's stats?
Yeah, well, after
Because that
you
was
said,
the big one we were all pissed off about, and I hope to God he's been the worst. And I'll put my hand in the air and I'll admit being wrong because I literally said at the end of that, and that's what made me smile at the end. It's like I don't even care if this guy ends up being the best guy ever because he has a shitty mustache and we just wasted prospects for no reason. He is now the best guy ever, and is in the same company as two of the best relievers to ever wear pinstripes. So, I
Hoy
mean,
Park.
Thank you.
Hoy
We should
Park
really
is
thank
hitting 190 with 3 home runs, 11 RBIs, and 1 stolen base, and a 600 OPS
in what?
in 190 plate appearances.
Oh, in what league?
In the major leagues.
Oh, he's in the majors?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
he
was
plays for the
in-
fucking Pirates.
He's on the Pirates. I mean,
He's not.
Claps
He's the
up.
outfielder, right? He's like a right left fielder.
I thought he was,
yeah, he plays both at the same time.
Yeah.
Safe to say we won that deal.
he plays on Luke's softball team, so
Yeah.
plays all 3 outfielders.
Well, there's an opening because I quit
There's
that
an
team. So I don't know, man. I thought that was really funny bringing
Yeah.
that back up.
I think
But
he said that even if he's the best player ever, they still lose this trade.
yeah,
You like did a little reverse mush there. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You're proud of the reason that he's so good, I guess.
sometimes you got to do that. And now, you know what's funny? We're going to replay this moment when he ends up giving up 16 in one inning in the wild card game because he's in a high leverage spot. Now he's earned that. That's just the way it happens. And now I'm
Don't do
reverse
that.
mushing the reverse mush. So
It's a lot of mushing.
how about that? So we need to give Giancarlo Stanton a little bit more of the spotlight here.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
Agreed.
that stat that I read out, the 0 runners left on all weekend is just, that's just a wild stat. That is just, like, you hear all these other advanced metrics and all those, like, you know, I'm sure there was a stat that he had a 500 OPS plus during this thing, and he had a 2.8 OPS for this weekend. But just like a funny stat like that this just sounds wrong is like, that made me double check it like 4 times. Like, there's no possible way that he didn't leave a single person stranded.
Yeah, like that's not that crazy of a stat when you think of it in terms of like how many runners. You know, you could have 2 potential RBIs if you hit home runs every time you're up
Yeah, but he
throughout
had
the
10
course of the
RBIs, though.
series. Right. That's what I'm saying. So like rare enough that you have the potential to knock in 10 runs, and then even more ultra rare that you knock all 10 of them in. So
I would love to see the rest of the team's stat of hitting with runners on during that series.
yeah, like
I mean, the bulk of the RBIs probably came from him the whole entire
He's
weekend.
outscored Giancarlo
Wait, how many
Stanton
runs?
outscored the Red Sox for the
Yeah,
series.
that was my next stat that I was going to bring up.
So
Stanton had 10
Really?
10 RBIs. The Red
Yeah.
Sox had 9 all weekend.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
I love Giancarlo Stanton.
I think
Break-
the coolest thing too is, I mean, obviously he's fucking locked in right now. I mean, the guy's unconscious.
Dude,
And
it's been
He's
for a
locked in.
while,
He's the
too.
best player in the game. Not
And
the
we
best,
had
but
nine-
he's pretty fucking good.
we had 19 runs in that series. He had 10 of them, or 10 RBIs.
It's pretty good.
That ball literally, has
He-
not
What
landed
was
yet.
was that quote from Stanton true when he with the Grand Slam thing?
Yeah,
When
so I have
he
that.
was-
I got that quote. He said, well, no, he was talking about. I think he wrote it down somewhere.
I
But
have it right here. It was when
Rizzo, when they brought in Rizzo. Oh, they
yeah.
brought in the lefty to face Rizzo.
they brought in the lefty to face Rizzo. Rizzo walked to make the bases loaded, and before that, Stanton.
No, this is after.
Right, no, but Stan said they better get him out.
No, they asked him about that afterwards.
Right.
They were like, "What were you thinking in your head
Right.
when they brought in the lefty just to face Rizzo?" Because there was 2 outs, Rizzo up at the plate, and they decided to go with the lefty. Everybody knows that now there's a 3-batter minimum rule. So if you're bringing that lefty in, he was like thinking in his head, and he said this after in the post game too. He's like, all I was thinking in my head was they better get him out because I'm about to hit a fucking grand slam if they don't.
Yeah.
They didn't. He did. And
First
that is a
pitch.
that's a badass quote.
That was one of the coolest Yankee moments this season. I think probably
I agree.
top 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I mean, once
Absolutely.
Kluber's no hitter, I think that just has to stay there. And then
I don't know. I was
I don't
know.
far more
I was
excited
in a
about that
way,
hit
way,
than Kluber's.
I was way more
Perfect,
excited. Okay, I guess
no-hitter.
excitement factor, yes.
Because of
Just
the,
like-
the implications
Well, no,
too.
and
It's,
also-
it's
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
us-
that's true.
We're like about to lose the season if he doesn't do that. Like if we
That's
lost,
true.
if we went out of this series and we're 2-1, or I mean, if that was the case, it would be 1-1 at that point, and then who knows what happens after that with the momentum shift. I mean, that momentum carried us into a win in the 3rd game. I mean, who knows? We could have very well lost that game, and now we are in this podcast talking about this team losing 2 out of 3 to the Red Sox, now having probably to run the table. So that single grand slam, I would argue, saved the season. Because there's
There's
an
just
At
alternate
that moment,
universe.
yeah, I would.
There's
yeah.
so many things that have saved or unsaved the season, though.
That's
No, but
because
at that
whole
point,
roller
though.
coaster of the year. No, I agree. It was incredible. It was incredible. As far as excitement level goes, that's definitely number 1. Like I can't think of another moment this year where everybody was just like, "Holy shit!" I guess okay, yeah, I was wrong context talking about Kluber. You're right.
Because that was late game. That was the 8th inning, right? That was 8th inning. We were down. That put us ahead.
Grand slam. We were down by 1 and it put us up 5-2.
Like that doesn't get much better than that. Because comparatively, yes, last night's game was also crazy. Sunday night's game was also crazy, but that game to me was just a clusterfuck of so many ridiculous things going on. And then Judge had the hit, and then Stan had the hit. It wasn't one big moment that broke the game away, just in my mind, because there was the drop pop-ups, there was always missed calls, there was all these other fucking crazy things going on that just made the entire game blend into this one madness roller coaster. So the whole game when Stanton hit the grand slam, I felt like it was kind of a slow game to begin with, and then the 8th inning came and he broke the whole thing open, and that was essentially the dagger. So that's why I feel like that was far more exciting and really the game, really the turnaround point too.
Sunday versus Saturday, you're saying is more fun?
No, Saturday versus Sunday. Saturday was the grand slam.
Saturday was more exciting.
Because Sunday was just there was a cluster.
It was so sloppy. It was just what
I
the
was
fuck is
laying
going
down
on?
in fetal position on this couch when they dropped those 2 pop-ups.
I sunk under my table. I was sitting there watching it, and I was up, and then it hit him in the knee, and I melted. I was just
Yeah.
a puddle
And-
of blubber and beer and sadness.
And honestly, that Aaron Judge hit was more funny than anything because of the missed strikeout call before that. So I was almost laughing more than excited at that exact moment. And then Stanton had the grand slam. So I don't know.
Which game was the game that was Sunday night that Stanton hit Glaber in the head and he almost got concussed?
Yeah, I think that was
yeah,
Sunday.
he broke his neck.
Stanton's just such a fucking big dude that he didn't hit him that hard, but I'm sure getting hit by Stanton is just not a fun time, and he obviously went through the concussion protocol while he was. I'm hoping he's okay. I don't want to laugh at a guy if he actually gets concussed because we
It
know
was his neck.
what
that he hurt.
happens when players on the Yankees, Clint Frazier, deal with concussions for 16
that would be the
years.
most Yankee injury ever. Is Stan hitting Glaber on the head and then
That
gets a
would be-
concussion and is out for 2 to 3 weeks.
That
Don't
would
even
actually
put
be
that
funny,
into
though.
existence. No, it wouldn't.
That would be kind of funny.
And then you have Tyler Wade, who can't fucking slide, apparently playing short every day.
We'll get there.
Or a second.
That's the knots. But One last thing I want to talk about before we finish the hots is, I mean, I just, this graphic that I saw of Judge and Stanton, their stats this season, now that the season is literally a week from being over. This season, Aaron Judge, 285 batting average, 904 OPS, 36 home runs, 90 RBIs. Giancarlo Stanton, 275 batting average, 872 OPS, 33 home runs, and 91 RBIs. This is the Judge and Stanton combo that we were promised in 2017, and I'm very happy that it's actually coming to fruition because both of them are playing. They're both playing a bunch of games, and I could say that because I'm talking about in hindsight this entire season. I'm not jinxing anything. Like they have played nearly the full season. Stanton is now playing the outfield, and I mean, whoa! It's the second you put him in the outfield, he plays fucking good baseball, and I mean, he has been
cool diving catches.
Yeah, but he has been getting mixed in DH a lot, which has bothered us because of the Voit Rizzo situation, which I guess is going to continue to happen. And I mean, maybe in the wild card they're going to do that too, because I feel like every game's a wild card right now. So why would they do anything differently?
That's what I'm saying. No, Voit is a bench player now.
Yeah.
They sat him against a lefty the other day. That's all you need to know.
Well, I think a lot of this also goes into Stanton hitting really well right now because we saw it previously in the season where Stanton was going on his tear. I don't know what month that was, but he just was unconscious again and literally carried the team hitting 400. And he was DHing at that time. And this was around that time too where we were kind of considering him to play the field. And then Boone said, "Oh, I'm not going to put him in the field now because I don't want to mess up with his rhythm while hitting at DH." And I feel like that same thing's happening right now where he's hitting really well. He's carrying the team right now, coming with the big moments. He's hitting in a DH spot, and Boone is afraid to take him out of that DH spot because it'll mess with his entire rhythm and kind of like flow right now, which kind of sucks, but
sounds fucking stupid.
We're winning baseball games, so I don't really,
It's such a fragile thing, I feel like, that we're winning baseball games because it's been so off and on that I'm just terrified.
I know, like part of me is like, yeah, let's try and put Luke Voit in, but the other part of me is a little stitious. And Gardner's playing pretty well.
Very well.
Yeah, he's playing well. So it's kind of hard to justify putting him in right now when you have a hot stand coming out of the DH spot. You don't want to mess with his rhythm. And Gardner is also playing well right now. I don't know. It's a tough thing to justify and continue to get mad at now because we're winning baseball games.
It's a good problem.
I'm not even mad at it. It's just like it's sad more than anything because Luke Voit has not done anything to lose a starting job, whether it be DHing or whatever. And he carried the team to the playoffs last year single-handedly. So it just sucks.
On one foot too.
Yeah, on one foot he limped his way.
Single-handed, single-footedly.
Exactly. But no, it was that's what I'm saying. It kind of sucks because I feel like they've kind of ruined that relationship. We talked about it before, not to beat a dead horse, but I feel like they kind of just like completely ruined the relationship on a guy that is still supposed to be here for 3 more years when Rizzo's a rental. And you have all these moving parts where it's very easy to move Voit into a lineup at least semi-regularly, and they just abandoned it altogether. I think they just ruined a very good relationship. So
yeah, I mean,
now
you're at the point. Now you're at the point where, and I think I've said this before, is that you've literally ruined this relationship with Voit, and I don't think you're going to re-sign Rizzo. So now I feel like you're at the point that you're probably going to be forced to re-sign Rizzo, which might not be the worst thing in the world, but like now you don't have 2 options. You have one. Like Voigt's not going to want to be here. You might request a trade. I don't know what his deal is, this contract, but like your hand's almost forced to just pay Rizzo what he wants. And I don't know if I'm upset about it, but I am upset that they did ruin their relationship with a player who's been nothing but fantastic for us. So
I think it's almost inevitable now that they're going to get one of the big shortstops, keep Glaber at second, and move DJ to first. To me, that seems like what almost.
Yeah, it's what it's
like
shaping up to be. But
yeah, it's all the foregone conclusion.
Yeah. One thing I did want to bring up was the whole just this list of Stanton's big hits this year. Because remember, I mentioned that he has 20 go-ahead hits this season, which is the most by anyone on the team by far. And just a few of them, like he had the go-ahead home run in the Field of Dreams game. He had the walk-off single to end the losing streak, home run to shut up Lindor, grand slam to put us back on top in this game. He had a walk-off single against Washington on March
I was
9th.
there for that
Just
one.
so many game-tying RBI single versus Philadelphia, go-ahead RBI single in the 8th against Boston back in August, game-tying RBI with 2 outs in the 10th versus Seattle. Just like wildly clutch season that he's having right now. Wildly just good overall when I just read those season-long stats to you. And yet, I feel like if he strikes out 5 times next game, he's going to get booed.
Oh, he's going to get booed on strikeout 3.
Yankee fans are
That's the nature of the beast.
stupid. I just...
There's
I know
nothing.
people
it
were
doesn't
talking about it
matter.
before and saying, like, is he boo-proof? I think it was Hubs and them. People were shitting on that take that he's boo-proof. Those are probably the people that want to boo him more. I don't know how you can boo him. I mean, he's like, people just don't look at what he's actually been doing. Like that list of go-ahead numbers, I feel like when I tell you that he has 20 go-ahead hits, most on the team, like that's almost not believable because everybody feels like he's having a shitty year. And then when you look at it on not November, today's September 27th. On September 27th, you can look back in hindsight and be like, wow, he's had a fantastic year that might get some MVP votes.
I'll stick by this till the day I die. The reason he gets booed is because how ugly it is when he is bad.
Yeah.
Like, even no matter how few and far between it is in a season like this, the strikeouts where he misses by like 45 inches are why he gets booed. Which,
it's
right or
ugly.
wrong, he does have some ugly strikeouts. He's like a notoriously ugly strikeoutist. But
Yes, but I've also watched that home run that he hit probably.
oh
35
no,
times
me too.
on
No,
repeat, which is
don't
gorgeous.
Don't get me wrong. I think it's absolutely fucking stupid to boo him. I'm just saying. I think that if I had to guess why, it's got to be that. And also, shut the fuck up about the contract. You're paying $22 million for him. Get over it. $22 million for this level of production, you would take it in a heartbeat.
It's also not our money. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just like, if you put a blind face and his resume out on the free agent market, he's what, 31? Like, he's gonna get more than 22 million a year. Just a blind face and a resume, and people be like, oh my god, yeah, that's like a $30+ million a year player. We're paying 22 million. Just stop saying his contract's weighing the team down. It's just not true. It's not true.
I listened to the Section 10 podcast this morning because I wanted to drink in some tears, and tears were drank, I'll tell you, but they were even saying, they were like, I forget who it was kid Coley. He was saying like this is Stanton's team, and anybody who thinks otherwise is crazy. And like, he's not wrong. Like, everybody thinks Judge's team. Judge is having a fantastic year too, but like, Stanton has been the most dominant guy on this team for the entire year. And when you look at it in a cumulative sense like that, he's had moments like right now, this is what he does. Like, he does it for a month and he just like lights the world on fire. There was a different point in the season earlier when the season started that we were like, Stanton's going to win MVP this year because he was doing this in like April, May.
Yeah, he hit like 400, and I think it was the month of April, like leading into May.
He also hit like 10 home runs in 12 games or something ridiculous.
He does this, and then he'll go on a wildly bad streak where he strikes out 1,000,000 times and his average dips back down to like 250, and then he goes on a hot streak and he brings it back up to like 275 where he's at now. And that's just like what he does. I just hope that this streak lasts into the playoffs, because if that is the case, if he brings this streak into the playoffs, I mean, one weekend he had 10 RBIs. This is a guy who legitimately could win you a World Series if he's on. And when that's alone. If he's on and Judge is on like he is now, even goddamn Gardner's on. And that's not Gardy slander for those of you listening that are Gardy supporters. It's like, if that's what's happening, I genuinely have hope for this team to make a run.
He did it last playoffs too, dear. He hit a home run in like 6 or 7 straight games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's clearly not afraid of it.
Yeah, it's not like a foreign thing to him to think that he can do that. He had one bad postseason his very first year here.
Here's
my thing.
Sorry,
No,
real quick, Murph. The craziest thing to think about right now, which I was thinking about right before Stan hit the home run on Sunday night, Judge was up, and the announcers were kind of talking about it a little bit, and basically there was 2 outs and Judge was up. Or sorry, there was 1 out, Judge was up, and they're really thinking about it. Like in this situation, it's a high leverage situation, and there's no one on first base. Like you can't just pitch around Judge. Like you need to go at Judge because you don't want to get to Stanton with runners in scoring position right now. And that to me is just insane. Like you have to pitch to Aaron Judge, which is arguably the same hitter.
You know who's
Top 20
behind?
player
You know
in
who's
MLB.
behind Stanton when you get through Stanton? Joey fucking Gallo, who's been great recently too. And it's like that's what that gets us so excited about this fucking team and why they were the favorites in the American League to make and win the World Series. It's just like that.
But yeah, but it changes the pitcher's strategy because you literally have to go at these guys. You cannot pitch around them because the next guy up is just bigger and better.
It's pick your fucking poison.
Yeah. So that's what gets me more. That's what gets me like so excited about this team down the stretch because it really does change the entire strategy of how these pitchers are going at these guys.
Murph, what'd you have?
Yeah, so I mean, now that we've gone down on this tangent a little bit, it's not as relevant, but I was basically when we were talking about just how hot everybody's been. It's like, is this team hot at the right time leading into the playoffs, or is it another one of these little streaky things? And
That's what we
that's
said,
literally
yeah.
what this season boils down to. Because when this team is hot, they can be. I'm confident that we can beat the Rays if we're playing at our best. Because, like Damon just said, you have to get through Judge, Stanton, Gallo. You have Rizzo even before that. Like it's such a tough lineup, and when it's operating in the way that it's designed to, which it has been for at least the past series. So the team's there, the pieces are there. I'm not worried about it being a wild card team. It's just, are we going to fall into this little spell and then get swept by the Rays or something like that? You know,
We'll get to the
So-
Rays first. You have to show up
Right.
like this team on October 5th or 6th or whatever fucking day it is. You guys all screwed me up before the show. But either way, this team, if you even make it there, you still have 6 more games you have to show up like this, and then you don't have the luxury of having an off day. This team can't have one of its cold days because when they're cold, they're ice fucking cold. And I know it's kind of negative and dim on an otherwise pretty incredible weekend, but you cannot afford to come out here and throw up a dud offensively, which they've been. I think they're like 19th in the league in runs scored per game. You can't go out and be that team if you want to beat the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, whoever you end up playing in the wild card, if you play the wild card, knock on wood. But like you don't have the luxury to go out and try and be that streaky team if you don't get it done in one game, which is kind of why I don't know, just to make this come full circle to what we were talking about to even like get us down this path. Kind of why I'm okay with Gardner getting that start. I've kind of talked myself into it just because he puts the ball in play. And you desperately need that. But you need this Stanton to show up. You need this Judge to show up. You need Gallo to show up. Play the fundamental stuff. And I'm confident they can win the wild card and go on a streak like that. I just, do what you have to do game by game. And I'm totally, totally confident that they can go on a streak like that. Like I said, it's just doing it. Yes, Damon.
One quick thing. I don't know how true this is, but I did hear one of the announcers say it at one of these games throughout the weekend, but Brett Gardner has seen the most pitches out of anybody in the whole league this year. I don't know if that's
believe
true or
that.
not.
Why? Because he works every count.
He works every single count. Yeah.
I feel like that might be exaggerated because he's not an everyday player. I mean, he is now, but he's had
he's
streaks
played a
this
fuck
season.
ton.
I mean, maybe that's pitches per game or
I'm gonna
pitches
fact
per
check
at-bat,
myself
but
quickly.
If
And
that's
please
actually
do.
like most pitches period, then that's incredible because he hasn't been an everyday starter.
I mean, I guess he just has like 10 pitch at bats every time, I guess. So
Is it too much to ask for to just be like somewhere in the middle of 10 runs a game and throwing lights out and scoring 0 runs a game and giving up 100?
it is too much to ask because that's the type of team we are. We're a home run or bust team. That's what we get. We get moments where we put up 15 runs and we get moments where we put up 0, and that's just what we are by design. It's not like a fluky thing that happens. It's how we are designed.
I know, but it makes me sad, and I don't want to go through a series with the Rays and do that because that's just demoralizing. It's the same thing over and over and over.
And they're a team that will put up consistent runs and pitch well, and that's exactly what you want, and that's not what we are. So one thing that I found that was interesting, because you were talking about it, Chandler, yeah, we do still have to make it, absolutely do. And just as quickly as this team has been hot, we have seen time and time again, maybe 65 times this year on separate occasions, where we have a 13-game win streak and then follow it up with like losing 10 out of 14 or whatever the fuck it was.
7 straight. We have
7 straight. So one scenario that was reading into the chaos scenarios that could happen, because this shit is absolutely wild. We're dealing with playoff games right now, and it's so fun to watch. But one thing that obviously we control our own destiny. If we win out, we win. And it was interesting to note also before the Friday game. Remember that graphic came up and it said like the Red Sox had a 98% chance to make the playoffs. Curious what that is now. But they had a 98% chance to make it. We had 46%, and the Jays had like 70-ish% or something like that, because obviously the strength of schedule and everything, and we're going against the Red Sox, who were on a 7-game win streak before that, and then the Red Sox face the Orioles and the Nationals, both bottom of their divisions, both bad teams, and the Blue Jays play us and then the Orioles. So when you look at those, it makes sense as to why some of the teams have better chances to get in, but obviously things changed after that fucking sweep. But here's what Jeff Passan was tweeting. He said, if the Blue Jays take 2 out of 3 from the Yankees and sweep the O's, and the Yankees take 2 from the Rays, and the Red Sox win 4 of 6 versus Baltimore and Washington, there will be a 3-way tie for the 2 AL wildcard spots. I love chaos. Here's how it will work. In the case of a 3-way tie for the 2 spots, the tiebreakers go like this. Club A hosts Club B in the first game. The winner gets the first AL wildcard spot. The loser gets to travels to Club C for the second game, and the winner gets the second AL wildcard spot. Because they won their series against both teams, the Red Sox get the tiebreaker pick. Regardless, it's basically saying that there's a game 163 and 164. It's like a round-robin tournament to get into the one-game wild card, which is like 3 one-game wild cards in a row. Like, imagine you're that team who, because Club C technically is waiting, I guess, for that second wild card, the second game
Which
to get the
team are
second
we
spot.
now?
No, it's just it's hypothetical.
Right?
It depends.
It's like, but the teams in terms of ABC, how do they pick that? Is that random?
It's by your head-to-head.
Yeah.
Which we lost the head-to-head.
So the head-to-heads matter based on how we. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, but we've already lost the season head-to-head on Blue Jays and
Right.
Red
So we're
Sox.
probably team
C.
C. Got it.
Yeah,
And-
we're playing it. We were died to be the second wild card.
And if you want to get even more crazy, we can always get fucking crazy here. So if the Blue Jays win 2 of 3 in New York, the Yankees get swept by Tampa, Toronto goes 1-2 against Baltimore, the A's win 2 of 3 in Seattle and sweep Houston, the Mariners sweep the Angels, Boston somehow goes 2-4, the AL wildcard will have a 5-way tie.
Oh my God.
So for clarification, that means the Yankees will go 1-5 down the stretch, Red Sox 2-4 down the stretch, Blue Jays split 3-3 down the stretch, Seattle 4-2 down the stretch, and Oakland 5-1 down the stretch. Every single team will finish with a 90-72 record.
Who the fuck comes up with this?
Some guy on Reddit.
That's the perfect place for someone to come up with that.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah, I would expect nowhere else.
how absolutely wild would that be? I hope it doesn't happen, but
No, I do
Now
not.
that
hope
would be the
happens.
true wild card.
that would be so absolutely crazy. I don't even. How would that work out?
I think they just have to do like a separate,
separate playoffs.
series, like push the playoffs to November and just.
That's true.
Let 'em
Yeah,
ride.
not
What do you
that.
do?
I don't know, because if you just did it based on like division record or anything, people would just be pissed off. Like, how can you decide that based on just that
Yeah,
alone?
you gotta let them play.
You would need to like go to get everybody go to the Field of Dreams stadium and just duke it out, like round robin tournament at the Field of
That'd be
Dreams.
so sick. Make them double headers, like do it, cram it into like 2 days, just good old
Make it like
fashioned
a
big
real-
tournament
style. Yeah.
Yeah, no, make it like an old like USSSA baseball tournament.
Quick counts. They do quick counts turned
Yeah.
on. Stanton starts off every at bat with an 0-2 count, and he just fucking hits a nuke every time.
Imagine like a 3-inning round robin like tournament.
Dude, that would blow my mind.
Better
and,
yet,
like
and,
an
wait, and position
run
players
derby?
have to pitch. It'd be like one of
Home run
those.
derby.
It'd be like those game modes they do in the events in,
It'd be like-
in
yeah,
MLB The
yeah.
Show, where you just like you have to have a bronze or less pitcher or common
Only
pitcher.
relief pitchers versus righties only. like
Andrew-
something crazy.
Andrew Heaney pitches for every team.
Yeah.
Dude, they do this in like In like Florida high school football, if you have a tie, they all play like a half game against each. Like it's like 3 teams all play one half. Just do that.
That'd be nuts.
I hope this doesn't happen, but
I hope
I
it
mean-
does. You kidding me? That'd be mayhem.
I just want to make it first. But
yeah,
I
no.
agree. If it
No, I
were
hope
to
obviously I
happen,
hope we make it, but like,
I mean,
If
it
we
were to
don't
happen,
sweep the Blue Jays, then I'm okay with it happening.
yeah, let's get fucking nuts if we don't sweep the Blue Jays. I don't
Or
even care.
at least win 2 of them.
With
I
the-
hadn't really considered that we have the hardest schedule though. That's kind of fucked.
See, and here's the thing too that we've been talking about for a while is that like, maybe the Rays don't have much to play for. They still would love
No,
to
they do.
spoil. They don't care.
They know they don't want to face us. There's no way.
Also, I mean, we have thrown more than one ball inside to a Rays player. So if there's one team, Kevin Cash would spend his entire bullpen and starters and risk injury to try and beat us just so, Clay Holmes doesn't throw a sinker inside at one of his guys.
Well, the thing is, they can though because they don't have to play wild card. They can wait, so they have the benefit of being able to do that. We have to do it because we got to make the playoffs. But if it's one team that would love to see us fail, it's them.
Ooh, speaking of which, just real quick, just to get back into like actual serious talk, how awesome is it that we have Sevy that is just
Yes.
as good as he was out of the bullpen now?
I take back everything I said about not wanting him to come out of the bullpen.
Good.
That was
Small sample
foolish.
size, or are you guys confident about that?
Oh, hush, Damien.
I'm curious.
with the small sample
I'm
size thing, but
genuinely
I'm willing to roll-
curious.
I think the small sample size thing is like a legitimate thing, but I'm willing to roll the dice on it. Like we have to.
Wow, that's coming from Murphy too. The inventor of
That's
small
coming
sample
from-
size.
Yeah, Sergeant Small Group. Or small sample.
So Murph. So would you say any outlook of Sevy has changed for you? Like, what do you playoff game? Cole gets pulled in the second inning. Horrible situation. How many innings do you want to lose Severino? And
I
is he
think
is he the first that you're calling out?
So like, all right, let's say he.
It
does
depends.
get
I mean-
called out. no. So I'm saying let's like dissect this 2 different ways because I don't. I mean, situationally, obviously, it depends. I don't really necessarily think I'm calling on him first. But if he is in, I think you run him until he starts struggling because he's a starter. He can throw a lot of innings. If he can throw 5 innings, throw him 5 innings.
But he hasn't thrown more than like 2, has he?
No. Are you saying if Cole gets like shelled early?
Yeah.
Oh, why not even like what if it's a close game and Cole's run his pitch count up? This would be my not ideal scenario, but ideal bad scenarios. Cole's gone like 5, his pitch count's way up, and then you just get Sevy and King to kind of bridge the gap to Loizaga and Chapman. Boom. Life's good.
So why is he coming back?
See,
I
this also
think so.
depends if it's a wild card game or a series game.
And
We're
was
talking
there a game 163 before it or 164?
Yeah, there's a
We're
lot
talking-
of depends on that.
We're talking just a strict a normal, just strictly one game wild card. Do you trust Sevy enough in that situation?
I think from what we've seen, I do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I believe Loizaga could be activated by tomorrow.
Don't lie to me.
I'm not lying.
No,
to you.
that'd be great because I would love to see him pitch before the playoffs.
that
we get there.
that was the rumor on that app called Twitter.
So
Oh,
much
no.
on there is false. So, who said it?
And it was a real person. It wasn't like I only
It wasn't
followed-
like hoodie lasagna.
No,
or
it was like-
something.
it was someone with a check mark.
That's all that matters.
Are you
Yeah.
talking about Loizaga?
Yeah.
Let me look it up.
he had a good bullpen. They said.
He was throwing like 120 feet, so that's cool.
I thought you were gonna say 100 and something miles an hour, and I was gonna say, great, sounds like
Be
he's
fucking
good.
sick. It'd be like Mike King throwing mid 90s, and then he just comes back off whatever injury he had, and he throws 98 now.
I just realized that
Henry
Heaney's still
Weinberger.
on the team.
Who? Heaney?
Yeah.
Shouldn't be.
I'm so happy he hasn't pitched.
How
I
is he not
stand
being
by
cut
that.
yet?
I stand by that. Because he hasn't been cut because he's going to be the automatic pitcher for every team in that round robin Field of Dreams game.
Yeah, it's just going to be 17-16 in every game.
In other injury news, Jameson Tyone is pitching tomorrow.
Scary.
So-
Also huge.
For the Toronto series, it is Tuesday, J-Mo Tyone, Wednesday, Garrett Cole, Thursday, Corey Kluber. That is the rotation that we signed up for at the beginning of the season, and I'm very happy to see that they are intact. It took a little bit of Nixon, whatever.
Crannies.
Not nooks and crannies. I was gonna say that, but I knew it wasn't right.
Bumps and nicks
along the way, and we made it. I guess.
Bumps and measles.
I don't know what you just said, but we made it, and hopefully they stay. What do you rate the finger? What are you doing with the finger?
I'm giving the finger to help back up Damon's blue check mark. It was Brendan Cuddy.
Oh
said
yeah,
he-
confirmed.
Oh, okay.
Reliable source.
Yeah.
Yes, very reliable that
Big J.
Loizaga could make his return against the Blue Jays.
That would be huge.
Electric, even.
While we're also on the topic of
I also-
injuries, let's just talk about that Judge Pinky situation.
I don't want to hear it.
So he apparently dislocated his pinky sliding into second. Who needs a pinky anyway, though? Like, literally cut it off. He doesn't need it. Be like
Yeah.
JPP.
Just tape it to your other finger and let it ride.
I want Aaron Judge to be JPP is no longer in New York, so we lost the gap from both Strahan not playing anymore and Judge fixing his gap tooth. We need the club hand.
No,
And I
dear
think
God. Keep
it-
all fireworks
Tape it to
away
the
from Aaron
bat. Tape
Judge.
his whole hand to the bat. Let him run around.
Yeah.
like Howie from Benchwarmers. just Aaron Judge,
Tape it right
just
to
with
the
with the bat taped to his hands.
I mean,
No,
dislocated
but it
pinky.
actually does matter.
it's
Wait, which
nothing.
pinky is it though? Is it his top hand or his bottom hand? I feel
It's
like
his-
that kind of
it's his
matters.
left
Bottom
hand. It's his left
That's
hand.
his bottom hand. That's a little bit more problematic. I feel like.
No,
it's
because he
not.
doesn't throw with that hand.
Yeah, but I'm thinking swing. I don't know.
Fucking
He's
tape
fine.
it. It's fine.
No, I'm sure he's fine. I know he's fine.
No,
Tough
tape
guy,
that
but-
motherfucker to where it's numb. You're fucking fine.
Also, he popped it back in. He's good to go. It's fine.
You don't need a pinky.
Aaron Judge played with a collapsed lung. He's fine.
Yeah, you don't need a fucking pinky.
3 broken ribs and a collapsed lung. He can live with a broken, non-dominant pinky finger.
Not even broken. It's just out of place. You put it back in. It's fine.
I would argue that a pinky is the least important body part.
I'd say pinky toe, but I agree.
Aside
I
from-
disagree with that.
No,
I think
pinky
the
toe,
you
pinky
gotta
finger.
run.
What?
Yeah, you
Gotta
gotta
run, I
you
agree.
lose your balance if you don't have a pinky toe.
It also depends on the person. Like for least important body part, like obviously Chandler doesn't need a dick.
Jim Abbott got 2 hits with one hand.
Boo.
So
Ah, good one, Luke.
Boo.
I was
What a
expecting
flop.
more. I was expecting more laughs about that one, but
I honestly didn't even hear you, but
It's all right. It was.
we'll run the tape.
I hope the people at home were laughing at that.
David just looked Luke just dead in the eye. Stone face.
Ah.
Yikes.
Who's pitching this series?
I literally just
Oh.
finished saying it.
No, that was the other thing I meant to mention though. I like where Cole's pitching as it pertains to moving
He's
into
pitching
the
second, right?
potential games.
JMO.
J-Mo Cole
JMO Cole
Kluber.
Kluber. I knew it. Yeah, I'll pay attention.
Good morning.
In our
The
little
video of
situation,
Garrett
though,
Cole's kid, Caden, like sweeping the floor.
Yeah, that
to
was
save
so
from New
cool.
York, that just made my entire life. I don't care if they lose every game. I've seen that now. I'm happy.
Oh, okay. Oh, let's not
Garrett
push
Cole
it,
just
Chandler.
loves being a Yankee. I love it. His whole family is all for the team.
So am I. I like to consider
you're-
myself part of his family.
So let's move on. So there was a few bad things that obviously happened. Let's deep dive a little bit more into the. I'm not gonna play the music or anything like that because really there wasn't really that many not situations other than those pop-ups and Wade getting caught stealing twice. So let's talk about those things. The pop-ups. I mean, there's not really much to dive into about that. My heart was in my stomach, and that's it. I don't foresee that being an issue to going forward because they're 2 Gold Glovers. I mean, this team's just been sloppy all year, and that's just kind of a microcosm of this year. But like with the Wade stuff, I think there's more meat on the bones here to talk about. Like those caught stealings were so bad. Like what the fuck was the no slide situation on that first one?
Did he think he walked?
No, well, the announcers were saying that they think that Iglesias was telling like
He didn't do anything.
like
though.
signaling to that it was a walk, like trying to play mind games with him, which totally didn't happen. I think Wade, this is the more likely scenario. I think Wade thought that the ball got past him, so he was like turning to run towards third already, so he didn't slide, and then he just got kind of crossed up. In which case, like, still fucking slide, still run and figure it out. Unless you saw the ball physically roll to the wall, don't go to third. I mean, it's just a little bit fucking ridiculous. You're supposed to be the base stealer, and you get caught stealing twice in 2 pivotal moments.
You have one job on the team.
I honestly don't. I was trying to think of excuses for him, but if you think that the ball's gonna be hit and you're like rounding to go to third, I feel like you would have had different movement. Like he was literally like stopping, like there was not gonna be a play.
It looked like he just like, to me, the only thing that makes sense is if he thought he walked. Like,
But he
either
was, like,
that or he just wasn't paying attention.
I don't know. Either way, I think regardless of the situation, he should have slid.
Bitch.
Do you think that those 2 caught stealings have any implication on his role for the rest of the season in the playoffs?
No.
No,
He's the
he's
only
still
guy
the
that can
fast
do
guy.
that.
You don't think Gardner?
You have to steal in the playoffs. No way.
He's a bench guy that's fast. That's his role, and that's what he's gonna be doing.
I
He
mean,
has
if he's-
one job, and
if
they're not
he's-
going to cut him.
If he's gonna get caught stealing, do you bring up some guy like Greg Allen who's genuinely faster than him and he's just a base stealer?
No, they're not going
I don't think
to.
that's even a conversation.
He's not going to lose his role over that. It doesn't.
No, I don't think he should. I was just bringing
There's nothing that Tyler Wade could do where he loses his role.
No, and I really don't think. I hope he doesn't because I like Tyler Wade and the versatility he brings. I just thought I'd bring it up to you guys because those were fucking egregious.
It was
The second
tough
one
to
wasn't
watch.
egregious. He just got caught stealing. The first one was just stupid.
Also, funny thing about that too, I thought it was just hilarious that Vasquez did. Did you see the little finger guns thing he did after the first one? After he fully didn't that was on Wade, not on his arm. Like he didn't like gun him out like he had like. Oh, what a great fucking missile by Christian Vasquez! Like no, Tyler Wade just fucked up and didn't slide. That's not cause for finger guns in my opinion.
I don't know. I saw those people reacting to that, and I thought it was pretty stupid. Like the guys were just excited they got him out.
What? You just went the pew 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 pew. I feel like you don't pew pew unless.
That'd be like if
I don't know. I think it's a little stupid to.
You think if Gary did that, people wouldn't be like, "What are you doing, you idiot?"
No, I still think he's an
that'd
idiot.
be
But
like the finger guns after the pop up that hit Gallo in the knee, and then say
Yeah.
if Schwarber was safe at second if he got up and
yes, but you're still
did one of
excited
these.
because of the moment, and that's what I'm saying.
It'd be like Schwarber pimping that.
yeah.
It's exactly what that'd be.
I don't know.
Damon, stop sticking up for Red Sox.
I'm not
players.
sticking up for anybody. I'm just saying the guy's
Arguably
happy.
the ugliest Red Sox too, by the way.
He's hideous.
Like
He's
the
up there
worst.
with Verdugo.
Verdugo's
way
got he's
uglier
got
than
yeah
Verdugo.
he's got some swag, but he's still ugly.
He's got like the ugly
It's
swag.
like fake swag.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Vasquez is just ugly and round. He looks
I
like a
would say,
leprechaun.
all in all, pretty ugly Red Sox team.
They've
Yeah.
always been an ugly team, I feel like.
Yeah, they're not a bunch of lookers.
That's why they had to get rid of Benintendi.
It's the Boston way. They gotta look all rugged.
Yeah, they all have to look like construction workers.
Yeah, it's the blue collar,
Like
blue
Bobby-
collar drunk.
don't even-
Yeah.
I couldn't pick Bobby
Beantown.
Dahlback out of a lineup like of 6 guys, but I could tell you Bobby Dahlback sounds like he punches his time card and pours cement.
At the steel mill.
Bobby fucking Dahlbeck.
He punches the time
Oh,
card at the
all right,
steel
Matt.
mill.
That's such a good name to say with a Boston accent.
Bobby
Yeah.
Dahlback.
Yeah.
Bobby Dahlback.
You gotta see the
Who I
fuck in
loves
between it
beans
though.
and Dunkin' Donuts.
Bobby fucking Dahlback. You bring my dunks, Kike. Oh my god, this team. I hope we play them in the wild card.
I do too. That
I hope we
that's
play-
I hope
just
we
good-
host
this is
them for
good
the
for
wild card.
baseball if we host them for the wild card.
it won't be good for baseball if we lose, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, that's gonna be a.
But we're not going to. I'm not gonna.
I'm
put
not
that out.
emotionally ready for that yet.
I don't think I'll ever recover from this. Just because my hopes have been up and down, and they're at this point right now after this season, this series, I am fully in the camp of like we can actually. This is probably the first time since opening day that I've genuinely thought that there's a chance that we can make a run.
We've said that like 3 times. We
No,
said it
but
on
like
13
genuinely,
game winning
like
streak,
believe
too.
it, like believed it, because we're getting hot at the right time. Like the Cardinals right now could make a fucking storybook run like the Nationals did back in 2019 19.
19.
So, I mean, if we get hot right now, who the fuck knows? And it's not just like getting hot as the Nationals. It's getting like the team that it really isn't that good on paper. It's getting hot as a team that has one of the highest payrolls and a team that was favored initially. So, like, when you look at all those things, I think our chances are pretty decent. I would honestly be interested to see on the day of the wild card, if we continue to play like this, what the odds are for us to win the World Series. Because I think Vegas
They're
would
gonna be low.
like low odds or low payout.
Like low probability of us winning the World Series.
I think no, they're going to be skewed because of the wild card, and then they'll go up and adjust from there. But
we're dogs in every series. I think.
win the wild card. Just win the wild card and go from there.
Make the wild card.
Make the fucking wild card. God, if they miss the wild card,
Baby steps.
dude. I mean, just
Beat
take
the Blue
two-
Jays. That's the first step.
Yeah.
Yo, tomorrow's a big game. I feel like because
it's massive.
Why do you
we
say
well,
that?
no. Okay.
definitely
okay.
is,
Murph.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been thinking about it.
Oh yeah.
I
you know
think
what?
I came to this conclusion. I think tomorrow might be a big game.
Yeah, I feel like these last
No.
6 just really
No,
have
that's
a
fine. I
big
didn't have another
swing.
point.
On the,
Go for it, Murph. What are you saying?
No, I just meant like it kind of tells like, is this the actual way that the team's going right now, or is it the hot cold thing? Because if we
We won
lose
7
to
straight.
Toronto tomorrow, then all of a sudden, I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe every game's a big game. Because
No, it is. We're telling you every game's
but
a
like
big game.
you know, it sets the tone. Like yeah.
Yes,
whatever.
it's a tone setter. Yes, because think about it this
Tone
way:
setter, thank
we win tomorrow, we keep the momentum going. Then Cole pitches the following day, keep the momentum going. Like it's we gotta just keep the whole thing moving. That's the big name of the game.
Not to
Do we-
mention that it's Tyone.
then we have Nestor, so he's the if
We
you
have our
lose
ace.
2, then you have the guy who stops the bleeding there at the end.
We haven't even
Jack-
talked about Domingo. He didn't pitch yet, did he?
No,
Who
Not that
cares?
Yeah, no.
I care. I mean, he's a pretty big piece of this team, and he's going to be very important down the stretch. Like I said before, he is one person that would. He's one more person that would keep Heaney out. So
Okay, I'm back in now.
I mean, if he's one extra person, Loaiza coming back as well would be in one more person who's obviously good, but he's one extra link away from Heaney. So
Do you think the players on the Yankees hate Heaney?
yeah,
as
I
much
think
as
so.
We do.
I think they do.
Like, there's just no way that he can like hold his head up high in the dugout.
Yeah, no, they don't
Like-
like him.
Judge isn't hitting his home run and going and high fiving Andrew Heaney. That's all I'm saying.
I think he is, but it's like a. Ugh.
Yeah, it's like
a
we
sympathy
do our
high
big
five.
jump one of these, and then it's like, oh fuck, here's Drew in the corner. Like,
I wouldn't be shocked if Stanton does one of those like cement taps on the head they did to Glaber to Heaney, but like 10 times harder.
I would love
Just
him.
slaps
to
the
do
Just
shit
assault
ever
your
shit
teammate.
out of him.
that. Yeah, it's out of excitement though, so it doesn't count as
Hey,
assault.
Giancarlo, nice hit. Okay, thanks, Andrew. Just fucking him and Judge tabletop him.
Man, would hate that.
This poor guy.
It'd be like a bullying scandal, like the Richie Incognito thing, but they just bully Andrew Heaney.
For good
All right.
reason though.
That's enough of this nonsense again. As Murph said, he brought it to our attention that these next few games are pretty big. So I now that I'm aware of that, I'll make sure to tune in, and you guys should also be tuning into those important games. There's 6 games left. They're all important, and if you like this podcast, it would be important if you gave us a 5-star review on iTunes. I would appreciate that. We all would appreciate it, and make sure to go subscribe to the YouTube. Just search up Bronx Pinstripes on YouTube, and that is where you will catch the live episodes the night before. If that's something that interests you, go Yanks.